Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. Alright, let's head here for a minute. Hello, hello, everybody. Kia ora, Stardust. See you in there. The Lightfast are on sale. I've never used Lightfast, but I've heard good things. 53% off is a good deal. That sounds interesting. I don't need more pencils. Double A, hi, kia ora. Yeah, I don't need more supplies right now, which is kind of the perfect segue into what we're doing today. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all had a wonderful time zone out there. Today we are going to try and calm the chaos. I spent most of yesterday trying to calm the chaos in here. I had to completely rearrange my bookshelf. I now have a 4th row of colouring books, but I've now gotten all my colouring books away. The floor is clear. However, the pile of art supplies to sort out is still massive. I managed to get away quite a few different things, but there's still a lot to sort out, and that chaos, that overwhelmingness of just having stuff everywhere has been getting to me the last few days, and I haven't been able to colour or do anything. So I decided yesterday I was in the mood and I got the books sorted, and I was like, okay, the books are done, but I've still got to do all the actual art supplies. I put away what I could, I sorted what I could, but what's left is basically the pencils and the felt tips. So what we're going to do today is we are going to basically just have an organisation stream, which may not be the most interesting to some people. I love watching things go into rainbow order, so hopefully, I'm hoping the rest of you all do too, but it'll be a good chatty stream. I love organising and I love when it's over. Exactly. So we're going to take my pencils and start putting them into the 500 case. So we're going to move our Polychromos, our Prismacolor, Pablo's, the Harmonious, all going to move into this case. And then I've got some Crayola pencils that are going to move into the Prismacolor case. And then once all that's done, the other thing that I have is, if you are aware of my water-based markers, I have this box here of water-based markers, which is continual how I'll probably store them, although it may not be big enough. But I organise my water-based marker in colour groups, and since this big organisation, a couple of these are running out, so I do want to grab a new box of super tips to swap over some of them. But then I also have, I'm still deciding if I'll keep these separate or fold these in. I have the new pastel super tips, I have these, and I have these to swatch and fold into the markers as well. So I've got a lot of that's a lot of swatching and grouping, so that's going to be our second half. But our first half is literally just organizing pencils and trying to get these cases under control and just organized a bit more. So I have done a couple things already, like this was my watercolor pencil case. It now holds my Albert Durers entirely. It used to hold, I used to only have a few Albert Durers, and it used to hold some other watercolor pencils. Now it only holds my Albert Durers, and then the spare Albert Durers and the other watercolor pencils are in here. So this one is done. These ones are ready to go away. But yeah, so we still have the 120 Polychromos, the 150 Prismacolor. I've got 30 Pablos. I have the 72 Harmonious pencils that all need to go into here. And then I also have the 100 Crayolas plus the Colours of the World set that are going to go back into the Prismacolor case, because I have to keep these in trays. This is the only case I have to keep the Crayolas like this, so they're going to go back into the Prismacolor case. So there'll be a little bit of change around. At the same time too, I'm also going to pull out any nubs and just kind of get like that stuff done. Perfection. Hello, hello. I went to sleep early last night, so I'm up early. Welcome to early. Sherry, hello, hello. Welcome in. On the US site, I'm looking at Neocolor too. Yeah, what a deal. I love a deal. I love a deal. I love organizing my books and supplies and my swatch charts. Most of these don't have swatch charts. So what I do with the water-based markers, because there's so many of them and the sets are all mixed up, I group them in color groups. So it's like right now I have, for example, 1 yellows, but it might get to the point that we need to do like a warm yellows and a cool yellows. I have like a green blue, a sky blue, a like more royally blue, and I have them in groups. So I know that I can go to certain groups and go, oh yeah, you're the more tealy blues, and then just pull one of the markers from there. So they're not swatched, but it works for me in terms of how I work with the water-based markers. But yeah, that's step 2. We're still going to get through step 1, which is the pencils. Use swatch cards. Okay. I like Sugar Sweet, so let's have a look, because Sugar Sweet has a lot of pencils. Let's have a look. Shop. Oh yeah, I don't have any of the pencils that they have in there for the swatches, but I do like when they group like that. They do the family groups. But it's cool to see those swatches for some pencil sets that maybe aren't as common out there. It reminded me, I was meant to check my email. I was probably meant to check my email a couple of days ago. 4 days ago. Okay. Sorry, it just reminded me because it's got Woomer on there, and Woomer did reach out if I wanted to do a review for them, and I was meant to look at that earlier, and I forgot. Whoops. That's okay. It was only 4 days ago. I'm in 2 minds. It does say that they want unbiased reviews, but also I don't know. I don't need more pencils, and I've heard mixed things about the Woomers, so yeah. Okay, let's go to the art screen. Alright, so this is the massive case that we're going to start moving all our pencils into. We're going to have a bit of an odd angle today, because we're going to be a little bit off the desk, and you are going to see my camera, my microphone, and stuff like that, but I need the space. Hi, Yana! Welcome in. So yeah, this is my new pencil case that I want to put my core sets into. I want to, I knew I needed to do this before the end of the month because, again, if you weren't here last time and you didn't hear, I have a date for my operation for my hysterectomy. So I have an appointment next Tuesday with pre-op just to check everything and get the final, like, yep, 100% going. We're like 90% of the way there. But all going good on Tuesday. At the end of the month, I will be going in for a hysterectomy, which I've been on the wait list for a year. So that's really exciting to finally have that date. But that does mean not only am I going to be sitting up at the hospital for a while I wait for the op, but then, you know, recovery time and stuff like that. So I want to have a portable way to take my core set of pencils, which is why I was like, before the end of the month, I need to transfer my pencils into this, so I'm not taking 4 or 5 cases. Like, well, this is a massive case to be taking around with me. It is all in one case, and then there's a pocket in the front, so depending on the colouring book, you could shove a colouring book in there, and you could probably shove a pencil sharpener right in the side too, like, depending on the colouring book. So the idea being that this will be an all-in-one. So yeah, we need to get all our pencils moved in over here. Now I have counted it out, and one page holds 100. So we've got 150 Prismacolors. Then we've got 120 Pablos. Well, I have 30 Pablos, but there is 120 Pablos, so I'd like to leave a full page of Pablos. 120 Polychromos pencils. And then we have the Harmonious. So I might put the Harmonious in with the Polychromos, because the Polychromos will only take like one of these. And then we've got 72. No, hold up. These are 25. No, that's 100 per page. That's right. Apologies. So that's 1.5 of these is Prismacolor. Yeah, because it's 25 a row, so it's 50 a page. So 1, 2, 3 for Prismacolor. 120, so that will be Polychromos. So I might be able to do Prismacolor, Polychromos, and then Pablo, and that will leave room for Pablo to carry on there. And then we can put the Harmonious in here. Yeah, make sure you have everything you need near your bed for aftercare book supplies, because moving them would be hurting you. Yeah, that's the plan. The plan tomorrow is to focus on my bedroom and get my bedroom as organized as possible, because since I've moved in here, the art room I've really focused on getting sorted, and yesterday's big sort out really helped as well. So the art room is looking pretty functional. There's always going to be little areas to tidy up. I still need to finish off this desk. This desk is not working, but I have not looked at the bedroom. There are still boxes from when I first moved in the bedroom, and we're coming up to 9 months. So it's also a clear sign that whatever's in the box I clearly don't use. So plan tomorrow is to actually just go through the bedroom and just clean up, remove, and do a big haul out. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's meant to be very long, because it is keyhole and it is pretty straightforward. I think the plan is maybe 1 to 2 nights. I am a little bit more complicated with my mobility issues. However, I'm not worried about it. I feel confident in it. So yeah, but I do know it is throwing a little bit of spanner in the work, and that's one of the reasons why pre-up is very important, and that's why I've got these appointments on Tuesday, because there are a couple of things that do have to be discussed. The big thing is so if you're not aware, I have an autoimmune inflammatory disease, which is part of the reason why I use a walking frame to help me mobilize. I get very swollen and very puffy, and it's not very fun. To assist with that, I take an injection every 10 days, and it basically tells my immune system to chill the F out and stop attacking my body, and be it's cool. It's cool. You don't need to attack her, and therefore I don't get puffy, I don't get swollen. Helps with my pain, stuff like that. So I take that every 10 days. It's great. But because that works, it's a TNF inhibitor, if anyone's curious. Because that works by going to my immune system and going, hey, calm the F down, it also means that I am immune compromised. So post-surgery, I cannot take that injection while I'm healing, because we want my immune system to be fighting. We want it to be, fending off infections and looking after the body and all that sort of stuff. So that's probably going to be the biggest challenge, is that it's, I have to go 6 or so weeks with no injection, which is why the healing time should be I'm not worried about it, but it is something that is sort of we have to keep this in mind. But I have a really great team around me. And as I've said to the doctor, I'm aware going into this is not going to be surgery always hurts. It's going to hurt. But I would rather have a little bit of pain than a lot and keep having this pain. So I cannot find my my Prismacolor swatch cards. I wonder, I just want the list. I want the list, the order, because I know they're out of order in my case. Is that them up there? There might be them up there. Aha! Right. So they're going to be around here somewhere. Yellow, orange, purples, to blues, to greens, to browns and greys. Yeah. Yeah, I love decluttering. I get these moods every once in a while, and that's why, like, yesterday was very much a I need to clean mood, I need to organize, and it was so good to get all that done. Right, so I have my spares up there, and I also have my extra tub of spares here. Because I have a few spares in here from a second-hand set, and then I have my spares up the top there. Because we're also going to look at removing nubs. I also have to keep in mind that some of my Prismacolors are currently out and being used, so... Ooh, like I said, it is absolute chaos around here, so I'll be very glad to be able to put some of this stuff away. Alright, water-based markers all go on the floor for now. Because I actually felt like colouring last night. I really wanted to work on, like, I was really in the mood for the Morgan O'Brien's Any Day. Really wanted to work on that, but I just couldn't, because I couldn't process because there's just stuff everywhere. So I'm looking forward to having some space again. You're a prisoner, you're a prisoner, you're a prisoner. I think it's mostly purples and blues. Right, lemon yellow 095. This is where we're going to get into a bit of confusion. One day I also need to redo my swatch charts. And this will be a really good time for me to see if I've actually misplaced any of these pencils, because it happens. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I have been deep diving a bunch of, like, video game lore, I guess, for lack of a better word, like retrospectives. Currently I'm watching a bunch about Dishonored. I watched a bunch about Halo. I've never played Dishonored or Halo, but I somehow ended up on these retrospectives, and they're great because A, they're like 3 to 4 hour long videos, but they've been really fascinating. Maybe to feel it in decluttering. I need to do that with my room. Yeah, there's something very refreshing about it, and I'm someone who, like, I've talked to Mum about this before too, where, like, I know technically I can sell a bunch of stuff or stuff like that, but sometimes I'm just like, donate it all, because I would rather have the mental relief of getting rid of stuff. Alright, you're not quite nub, but you're definitely small. Not quite nub level though. But yeah, I do need to go and tackle the bedroom next, and get that done. Because as I said, there are boxes in there from when I first moved in, and the fact that they're still in boxes says very clearly to me that these are products that I don't use, so a lot of them will just be probably going. But that's tomorrow's job. Also getting very, very low. I do have a spare of you though, so that's okay. I should carry on with my technique too. So if you see washi tape on the bottom of any pencil, it's usually an indication to me that I have a spare. That was so I knew that if I had spares when things are getting short. Not all of these I've worried about doing that with though, because I've got too many spares now to keep track of it all. So I hope the bag won't feel too heavy after all the pencils are in. Well, it does have a shoulder strap. It's like a purse. So, quite like that. I imagine it is going to be a slightly heavier carry bag, but also, again, the idea is that I can take this whole case around and have everything with me and have a colouring book in the pocket in the front, and I just have to shove a pencil sharpener somewhere and then everything's here. Like, cool, here we go. Right, I just put away artichoke. Yeah, so now we want green ochre. Just, yeah. Again, it's not just with the surgery, but also for like future times when I need to travel. Just makes it a lot easier to make it like pick up and go. Right, 914 cream. Now this one might be out. I know this one was low. The question is, are you in here? Or are you not? Because if you're not in here, then I've used it all up. I don't think I pulled the cream out into here. There's lots of greys and purples and blues, but I'm not seeing a cream. I know I have a spare, but I have a feeling this one did get used up entirely. Okay, I'm going to say that one is gone, and we are going to pull out, actually before I go for that, let's go see if we've got one in the used bundle. Because again, I should use these ones up. We do. We can go back in there. That means we'll use the slightly used cream rather than the perfectly brand new cream. Right, 212 Jasmine. $9.17. I know I've used this one a few times and replaced it a few times. I always use a lot of sunshine yellow. Sunburst yellow, sorry. Spanish orange. I love when cases start to fill up and you just start to have the pencils lined up. It's so pretty. $9.40. Sand. $9.41. Now that might have got shoved over here because it's a brown. Did indeed. That is light umber. $9.42. We are just about through the first page. Right, 1034. There we go. Golden rod. Ah, that's a good thing for your pencil. Crystal Seeker, kia ora, kia ora. Hello from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm doing well today. Once we get all the pencils sorted, I know I'm going to be doing even better because today we're doing a little bit of organisation and just getting everything put in place. I hope you're doing well today. Yellowed orange and then 997 beige. I missed a colour. This is always my fear. Like, I'm sure bronze goes in well before now. It does. It goes in way, way earlier. Ginger root. It's meant to go in before the cream. At least I recognised it now. The worst thing about organising pencils. When you accidentally misplace or misalign a pencil. My brain loves looking at the Prisma case to know it's very satisfying. There is something satisfying about looking at a full case of it being in rainbow order. It's also something satisfying at looking at like a case full of new pencils where they're also all the same length. Like the fact that these are also different lengths makes it a little bit more, not quite as nice. Like it's still nice, but you know, if they're all the same length, it's a little bit more. But also it shows that they're being used. Like this isn't just a static collection. I use them. I go through them. We change in and out of them all the time. Chocolate. Right. Neon orange, which surprisingly I do use. It's quite a good orange to mix in with other orange. Sienna brown. Is that you? No, do the next one. Oh, I did it again. Ah, I'm doing good. Right. Mineral orange, chocolate, and then it should be orange. And so, Pale Vermilion goes on the next page. What are you? I think you're pumpkin orange. No, you're cadmium orange hue. This one we may retire. It still technically can be used, but it's just very frustrating to use. Alright, so we've got neon orange. We end on neon orange. I want sienna brown. There you are. Burnt ochre. And then that is page 1 of the colour splotches done. Same with the ink tanks. Totally agree with you with the misplaced pencils. Yeah. I end up mixing up my orders all the time, and then I get lazy and just shove them back, and it's like, no, you should keep them in an order because you know the order. Especially with my polychromos, I know the order, and when I put away my Albert Duras, which again, Faber-Castell, the Albert Duras and Polychromos, exact same pencils except in terms of colours. Obviously one's water-based and one's not. But the Albert Duras aren't in the same order as my Polychromos, and it's throwing me. So at some point I need to go into my Albert Duras case and rearrange that to match my Polychromos order, because I don't go in the standard order. I do go in a little bit of a different order, because these are sort of grouped in families. So it's like, I did this years ago. These swatches are like 10 plus years old. I really need to redo them. But for example, this cream to light umber follows a very light goldy, and then we get into the more tan yellows here, and up here is like the cooler yellow. So it follows sort of groupings. So it's not the standard order, but it works for my brain. But it does mean I need to put things back in order all the time, and I don't. And it's naughty. Right, I want salmon pink. Looks like you actually need to sharpen, but we won't worry about that. And then we want pumpkin orange. And this is where 118 goes. Right, so before we 100% decide, see, there should be room left over in this case too, that I can also keep a couple of extenders nearby and stuff like that, which is going to be exciting too. Oh. Helps if we tighten, not loosen. Okay, no, that will still work in there. I can't justify retiring it yet. It feels silly because it is definitely getting nub-ish, but it's also still usable. So, not quite retirement stage yet. Can't waste it, you know? Like, that's good pencil there. We've got to use every inch. And like, even when pencils are retired, I still have them. Can't bear to chuck them out. It's my retirement home for tired nubs. Right, I want 944. Where's terracotta? There you are. Terracotta. Luckily, the one pencil I don't have to move around is my ink tints. They are in a case and they will stay in that case. I do keep my ink tints separate. My ink tints and my Albert drawers are in separate cases. And I mean, maybe one day I'll contemplate also moving them in here if there's room, but for now I like the ideas of those being separate. My Crayola pencils will also live in the separate case. Right, I just did pale vermilion, now we want peach, so we want 939. So yeah, I spent all of yesterday sorting out these shelves and trying to get all my books organized in a way. I literally have a shelf of mythographics now. I still want to go in and like organize the mythographics by year and stuff like that, and then I also have to go through my wish lists and clean those up a bit, so we might try and do that later on tonight, because there were some things that were gifted to me that they couldn't gift directly from my wish list, so I need to remove those ones. And I want to put all the mythographics in order and just see like where I am at with the mythographics and stuff like that, because it feels like I have almost every mythographic now. There's so many mythographics over there. It's amazing. But yeah, I need to get off my butt and get colouring some of them. But again, I haven't felt like colouring. Like, I have not coloured since the last stream because I've just felt so overwhelmed by the chaos around me. So this is why I was like, I need to take the time to actually sort out this chaos. 923, 928, 926, 924. 925. Right. 947 dark umber. I feel like you are somewhere with the grays. Once upon a time, you could super glue your pencil nubbins to new pencils and have an endless pencil. Sadly, they don't sell them unsharpened anymore. I know. I wish they would. It would be amazing. Also, kia ora Smalt. Welcome in, lovely. Too many fairy gift drop-offs cause chaos. No, it's not that. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of gifts. I still haven't finished editing said videos or completed Paige's video. It's just also I hadn't been, like, all the gifts that came in last month I still hadn't finished putting away, and I've been meaning to reorganize my shelves anyway because I was at a point where I definitely needed to expand it out. So yeah, it was on me being lazy and not actually getting on to doing things for quite a long time, because, you know, sometimes things just don't happen. But the main thing is we got there in the end. Right, I'm looking for Tuscan Red. Tuscan Red is one I think I was going to retire. Yeah, this one I feel justified in retiring. Like, yes, I can still technically squeeze out a little bit more, but it's also kind of shattered in the middle, so it actually makes it quite difficult to use. So we are going to... I Actually, I think I had that same problem with the orange. But yeah, this one I find quite difficult to get in and out of the extenders. So let's see if we have a Tuscan Red in the used set, and if not, we'll get out the brand new one. Tuscan Red. Okay. Ooh. Welcome to retirement. Could yes, technically squeeze a little bit more out of you, but we're gonna retire that one. Right. Back to our reds. How are you going, Smalt Lovely? I hope you're doing well. I have been reading up on all sorts of stuff. Smalt is one of my players in my lovely D&D campaign, and we've been playing through Strixhaven. We finally finished year 1, and it's very, very exciting to get through the first year. There we go. There's Henna. Right, 929 pink. Chestnut, which finishes page 2 of our old case and finishes the first page of here. That's exciting. Oh, look at it. Already looks so good. I love a full pencil case. Just feels good. Just popping in to say hi. I gotta run some errands. All good, Smalt Lovely. You have a wonderful errands run. You know I always appreciate you saying hi. May your errands go very, very well. Okay. I just did chestnut. Now we need deco pink. Are you this one? You are this one. This is another one that we're going to retire. So see if it's in here. So we want 1014. Oh look, these 2 peaches. Had a feeling that set has more individually brought pencils as well. So again, it's not a set, it's a mixture. Okay, we have no deco pink in here, so we will be taking in here. I'm surprised I use this one a lot. Ooh, go in. And you go. Oh, this one didn't want to go in. Right, second contribution to the retirement home. Retirement home's getting some variety than just the browns. It's got pinks as well now. Chai, hello, hello. Have the day off work today. So I'm chilling and happy I have an extra hour or so sleeping in. Oh, there's something so good of just being able to sleep in and know you can sleep in with no pressure to get up, eh? So good. Neon pink. Oh, I'm glad you're having a good, relaxing day. Patty Beige, where are you? I wonder if I've put you in a different section. No. Okay, are you out here? You're out here. Okay, first gap. Patty Beige is currently being used. Unless I put them in, but I put them in upside down so I know I can pull it out afterwards, which I might do just to make sure So if I do that and leave it upside down, I know it's one of the ones that I was using for the page, for the Thomas Kincaid page, and then it will be a little easier for me to like re-pull it back out. But also make sure I have got everything in the set, because goodness knows it's easy enough. And then if I have to move anything, it's in the case too. Okay, we'll do that. Now having my usual mocha. Nice. Yeah. Such joy. Such absolute joy. And a fairy drop off. I love being blessed by the fairies. The fairies have been very generous and very kind. Alright. Pink rose, rosy beige. And then I want raspberry. Pomegranate. 195. This is the one that accidentally got paint pen all over, so it's got all this green on it. Still works. Alright, 994. Another colour I use a surprising amount of. It's processed red, but it's a real pretty pink. Alright, hot pink. 993. You can see I've used a few of my pinks. 930 magenta. 1017 clay rose, which is actually a really pretty desaturated colour, and then mahogany red, mulberry, right, black cherry, 1078. Right, so 934 lavender or orchid. Can't remember which one I've got out. I've got the old lavender still. Still on the old lavender. I'm pretty sure I've got orchid though as a spare. The new, yeah I do, and I've got the new amethyst. Let's see if we have either in here. If you were to wear in Prismacolor both lavender and lilac were replaced with orchid and amethyst. So yeah, if I say like lavender, you can swap it for orchid. They're not identical, but close enough. Okay, so lavender, dahlia purple. I love the purple sections. I wish there was still more purples. I always wish there was more purples and pencils, but at least there are a few purples. And most importantly, there's a variety of purples. We go from a very greyed purple to a very violet purple to very pink purples. Whereas if we look at, for example, polychromos, they're very one note of their purples. Right. 996 black. Nope, I jumped ahead there. Just a dahlia purple. Now we want dark purple, 931. Then we want beautiful greyed lavender. I believe it's also in here. Oh, my just dump it all in container here. Greyed lavender. And then a black grape. And I'm pretty sure violet and lilac are in here because I'm also still in lilac. Because I did buy a few of these when they were going out of stock. Prisma, Prisma, Prisma. Poly. No, Prisma. I'm using Prisma. Wow, words, Amy. Poly, 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 poly. Aperturas, polys, ink tints, polys. Prisma. Prisma. That might be what I'm looking for. Nope. Should be all the Prismas, so I am looking for violet. You're Parma violet, I know that much, even though you've been worn off. You're violet. Violet, you're turning violet. Violet? Every time I hear violet, it just goes through my head. Right, and then lilac upside down. And then we want the Parma violet. And then we want next page. The dioxazine purple hue, and then imperial violet, which I think is this more bluey one. It is. Back with your morning latte, but now I'm wrapped in a blanket. Yeah, you and Chai are vibing very much. Fair enough too. There's something so snuggly about being wrapped up in a blankie. Right. 933. You. Violet blue. Then 902 ultramarine. And then 208 Indabrine. Goes upside down. And then 1079, which also goes upside down. And then 10... Excuse me. Oh, hit out of nowhere. Right, 1011 denim blue, and then it should be 901. Very faded off, but you are. Yay, next page. One three. 1100. 1023. Ooh, you are 1102. I bet that's you. Ooh, God, I can't even get you out. I can't even tell what color you are because you're so... I think that we're going to retire this one too. But I'm going to guess by the power of deduction that you are Blue Lake. Because I have... No, powder blue is there. Upside down. Which means you might be... We're going to leave you to the side. You're something. Alright, so I've got 1023. Oh, no. Yeah. 1102 is Blue Lake that we're missing. And then we have 1087, which is powder blue. And let's see if we have Caribbean. Caribbean C 1103. No, I want 904. Oh, where's 1102? Blue Lake. Okay. I don't know what colour that is, which is why we're just going to leave it there. We're going to carry on and see what we can find. It's also possible that I've got a blue. Alright. Okay. What, 904 or 906? There's 906. Don't know where 904 is, so we'll come back to that one. Might turn up as we go along. Oh, there's 904. Just found it. Cats make good feet warmers. No. 1086. Your greys. I'm pretty sure I've got all the blues out of there. So you could be sky blue light. We'll find out. We're going to carry on because again, I don't know. What I do with my pencil case is I write the pencil number by the slots, so I always know where it goes, or if one is AWOL, I use a fine point black pen. I did think about doing that. I didn't when I first put them into the individual cases because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep them like this. And now obviously I'm changing them around. Oh, cool. I've missed a pencil. Fantastic. Sorry, let me get myself situated here. Yeah, I may end up doing that with this case. I just want to make sure that I'm happy with how I've got it laid out before I like permanently mark down where the pencils will remain. Right. 1087, 903, 904, 906, and then periwinkle is meant to be there. 924, and then that there. So periwinkle. That's not too bad. Oh, I was getting a bit confused around there because there's a lot of weird gaps. Right. But yeah, I was thinking that I might either like take a piece of washi tape or something, or like a plain, because I got some plain washi tapes that are just paper plain tapes. Put it down here and then just write some numbers. And then like the numbers are there and I'll always know. So I will actually put pencils back in the correct place because I'll know. I get lazy though, and then I just shove them back in whatever gaps, and that's where we're quite naughty sometimes. Yay! That marks the blues. So yes, that little nub is definitely 1086 sky blue light. So we are going to replace this little baby. Not in those ones. I do have this spare. And then our third contribution to the retirement home. Right. 27, we want peacock blue. And then muted turquoise. In you go. And that also finishes off 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of the original case, and brings us to the next page over here. So the rest of our Prismacolors should fill out this page. What will you do when you fill up the small pencil home, the retirement home for nubs? I think I've got quite a while to go before it's filled, because this is like quite a few years of keeping my nubs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, there's a couple of times where I've run out of colours and I've dug into my nubs to pull them out just to finish off a page until a spare comes in. So even though they're in here, I had pulled them out even further. But yeah, I don't know what I'll do with the nubs. It is quite good to see the different colours. I mostly have like a lot of browns, and because I used to do so much portraiture work, because this goes back to when I used to do my own art and work full-time as an artist. So yeah, there were more nubs. I haven't been consistent in putting them all away, but yeah. So we just put in muted turquoise, so we want light aqua. 922 to start a folder on this side. And then 905. But yeah, I don't know what I'll do with that. I've seen lots of people I've seen like bowls made out of and stuff like that, but it's very clearly like they've taken a brand new set and chopped them down, because it's too perfectly rainbow ordered, whereas that's like genuinely my nubs. So I'll find something for them. I can't bear to chuck them away. And it does just give me a good spot to just put them in the meantime. Why did I jump ahead to that? No, I was meant to. I did jade green, then parrot green, and we're looking for 1020. Goodness, Amy. We want 907. Use nub in the clear. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple people do that too. I thought about, every year I think about it and then I always forget, but after Christmas when those things sort of go on special, or like just before Christmas when they're like really splash them, I keep meaning to pick up some of the clear ornaments because then I think it would be just cute to fill them up and hang them up and have it as a decoration. But it's not like a urgent thing, like they're there every year, and it's like even if I don't get them in this year, there'll be more next year. So it was something I did think would be like a cute hanging decoration, just to put up a decoration somewhere or something. Not that I have a lot of space for decorations here. Right. 908. Oh, you might be 908. It stopped selling when people stopped buying, pretty much. And they're easy enough to find, though. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're 908. 120. Ah. 109. And 289. 1096. 1089. 911. Apple green and spring green, which is 912 and 913, which are very small. Kelp green, and then a chartreuse and marine green, because I know chartreuse is on the next page. Alright, so I'm going to say you are definitely the dark green. So we want 908. $909, but not 908. Oh, there we go, 908. I'm trying to use these ones first because these are the used Prismacolors that I got gifted to use up, so trying to pull from those ones first rather than the brand new ones. Another contribution. Alright, 988 and what have I done here? I put the dark green in the chartreuse spot. It's like, what the heck have I done? Oh, goodness. Right. 989 goes in between the two of those. 988, and then we want 1004, 1005, and then, oh, where's my neon yellow? No, that's neon yellow. That's 1035. That's why I'm misreading that. And then we want 1097, which is moss green. And then, like, the absolute oddball, this one. That's so annoying that one starts there, because now we go into browns and then greys. That's so annoying that it just doesn't slot up there. Oh. Oh, well. Can't be helped. Right. Sepia. Espresso. And then we want French greys. 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 90. At least these ones are easy because these ones have a straightforward order. I want to colour, but I can't get into it myself. Doesn't really how detailed the simple or pages are. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to take a break away from colouring until you find your spoons for it again. I have only been colouring the colouring I've done on stream. I have not been colouring outside of stream at all lately. I've been playing video games or just zoning out. Or crocheting. I've done a little bit of crochet. Sometimes that's what you need. 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, and 90. About dropped it. Alright, and then we want gap for 10, 20, gap for 30, 50, 70, 90, because this one's down here. And then we want metallic silver and metallic gold. I do fold the bronze in with the browns because it doesn't actually look particularly bronzy, so it does actually work. And then we want black, white, and technically we should have a blender here, which makes me think, have I missed a slot in all of this? Because I thought they were 25 a piece. Unless the blender doesn't count as part of the 150. Maybe the blender doesn't count as part of the 150. That's okay. I mean, I'm happy to keep the blenders separate because I never ever even use the blenders, which is why the Polychromos blender weird pencil is also in here because I never use these ones. I think it's a blender. I don't know what it is. Water-based varnish. I know, I never use these. Yeah. At least it's on the same page. Yeah. But it does mean all our Prismacolors are in the case. So I have these brand new spheres plus these spheres in here. You're used white, so you can go in here too. So yeah, we've got a few spheres that I'm going to have to figure out because again, this case is going to become the case for the Crayolas. Just chill there for a moment while we figure out that, because you're going to become our Crayola case. So we're gonna do that one. Actually, I just realised something too. After dropping that way, I need to redo these because these are quite light faded. Again, they are very old swatch cards, but they will fit in the little pocket in the front. Okay, so I have, that's Colours of the World. Purpley blues. There are a couple of colours because I was following like a colour chart, and a couple of colours weren't, like I had an older set that had some discontinued colours, so some of these colours are a bit like they don't match in. Need to factor those in. Alright, so if we start with Colours of the World, and then that goes into these brown to orange to yellows to blues to purples to pinks. I think that's the order that I kind of organised it in. Ooh. Let's do that. That'll work. Ooh. Also, kia ora, Beady. Hello, hello. Thing like that's again at the point I'm looking into a switch. Wait a few months, make sure I want one and not just use for a month and never touch again. Yeah, that's a very smart way to do it. This is going to look very satisfying because a lot of these pencils are very much the same length. I have the Crayolas because the Crayolas are pretty reasonable. Like, you can do a lot with the Crayolas. I love their Colours of the World set. But also these times where I'll have people around who I'm like, oh, do you want a colour? And they're like, oh, but I don't want to use your good art supplies. Like, they're too hesitant to try out my pencils. Even I'm like, it's fine, try them out. I let my nibblings use Polychromos and Prismacolors. Like, it's fine, try them out. But they want to, but they're too hesitant. So I'll give them the Crayolas, and then they'll have fun with the Crayolas. And I'm like, you can try my other stuff, but, you know, it feels a little bit more like, oh, I can try the Crayolas. They're a little bit more willing to play with Crayolas, so that's why I have the Crayolas. And then occasionally I'll use them too. It's not a bad little set. And that's why I'm going to keep them in a separate case, because A, they're not a regular set that I fold into my everyday colouring, but occasionally I do like to use them, but it also means that they're there as an easy, like, here you go, here's a set. I've been here lurking, not feeling too talkative. No worries, hon. That's quite alright. You know you're always welcome to lurk. You do what you need to do. I hope things improve for you ASAP. We're just having a chill, easy day. This one's fairly straightforward because it's just taking one pencil and moving it to the other one, but it's also because these have been holding the Prismacolors, the elastics are like shaped, so they're also going in way easier. I love seeing pencils in rainbow order in a case. Like, this is already so satisfying to me. Especially because these have been living in a tray. Just so pretty. People used to think I was weird when I worked in retail at the store because I worked in a craft haberdashery type store. And I loved going over and organising the ribbons. And everyone was like, ugh. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I pulled up a stool, I sat there, and I organised everything in perfect colour, rainbow order. It made me so happy. And no one could understand it. It's like, you don't get putting things in rainbow colour order, how satisfying it is. Like, how can you not get this? Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Others not so much. So that's okay. I'll happily keep doing it. Now, this case, I believe, holds 172 is the technical limit for this case. Yeah. I know it held 150 prismas with some spheres, and I have either 100 or 120 Crayola pencils, plus the Colours of the World set, which is 24. So either way, I have over 120 pencils, and then there is like the Colours of Kindness set, and you know, Crayola sometimes puts out different sets and stuff like that. So my idea is that there will probably be some spare room in here, but I'm also expecting that maybe there might be some other Crayola sets I get that I put in here, or different bits and pieces. So I would like to get I know they're putting out, it's what my nibblings call magic pencils, where they've got like multiple colours in one. I saw somebody colour with them and it was actually really interesting, so it's not something I do regularly, but keeping my eye out for when those appear, because they'll make a good gift for nibblings, because they call them magic pencils, because they change colour on their own. That's magic. Oop, pulled out one too many pencils. Oh, just look how satisfying that is. It's just makes me so happy. I love putting things in colour order. Again, these ones are quick, so and it'll be so good to finally be able to dispose of these annoying plastic trays, or maybe keep them in the box. They came from my Prismacolor box from years and years and years ago when I first bought my Prismacolor, and then I've always kept the trays in there, and I never chucked out the trays or the box, and I don't know why. I mean, it worked here, but I don't really need to keep them. They are just clutter. And it has annoyed me for months on end. Hey Mandy, welcome in. How are you going? We are doing a bit of organizational sorting out of supplies. Calming the chaos so I can actually colour, because my brain has been so overwhelmed by all the clutter that's been around me lately. So we're organising stuff so it's a little, we're calming the chaos basically, so that my brain can settle, so hopefully I can actually find the groove to colour. So today, right now, we're doing a lot of pencil manoeuvring. That was the last of that one, so yeah, I still have quite a bit of room in here. So these are all my Crayola pencils that we just sorted out, because this used to hold my Prismacolors, but we are moving all my pencils into the new big case. So we moved all the Prismacolors. Can you tell me how you sort your pencils? Rainbow color order. I usually, these ones, I found a color chart and just followed the color chart, which I'm not 100% happy with the order, but also I don't use Prismacolor Crayolas enough to worry about it. So yeah, this one, yeah, just followed the color chart. For my Prismacolors, they are again rainbow order. They are grouped a little bit by family, but this is a order that I did 10 plus years ago, and now I'm just kind of used to it. So they are grouped in colours, but also within families within those colours. If you see, there's quite a few people out there that put out colour family charts where they'll group the colours like yellows and oranges and reds, yada yada yada, but they'll also group families within. So it's like the cooler yellows, the mid yellows, the warm yellows, the orange yellows, and then oranges, and it breaks it down into color groups like that. So that's an order that I've done for years, so I'm just kind of used to it like that. Done. Crayola's done. Right, so now we've got, I want to do Pablos, but in order to do Pablos, I don't have, because when I think about my pencils, Prismas, Pablos, Polys, that's the order. Prismas are one end, Polys are the other, Pablo is the middle. So I want to do Pablos next, but I don't have all 120 Pablos. So I have to also leave gaps. Now I'm sure these are 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. So in theory, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. So in theory, if I leave that should give us Pablos, and then we can start on Polys. But it would also be more logical to like slot Pablos at the end because I'm growing the Pablos. The Pablos is the next set. Because right now this is my entire Pablo collection. But I really like Pablos, and I like using them as a mix between the two pencils. So 1 out of 20 streams already mixing up pencil names, always mixing up pencil names, and it wasn't even the P pencil names like Prismas, Pablos, and Polys. Too many P names, I tell you. I don't know what it is about P names. And then if I, like, the Prismacolors end really, really nicely. But if I do Pablos, do I just leave the rest of the page blank as well? Because, again, if it's 50 a page, 50, 100, and it'll be there, and then that's there. Although that does give me a spot that I could, if I have any other Caran d'Ache or anything like odd pencils, I could put those in there. And then we can move on to Polychromos here, which is 50, 100, 125. And then we're going to have to slot the Harmonious. Yeah. Harmonious will go at the end, which is going to be most of this. Which means it could work backwards. We could work backwards. So we could do the Harmonious, leave some space. Because we know the Harmonious is going to be most of this. Polychromos is going to be most, it's going to be that, and again we leave a gap. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Now, do I sort the Pablos in as if I have the full 120? I'm sure it's 120 for Pablos. Let me be 100% sure, and it's not 72. Yeah, 120 colors in the full range. So what do I have? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 5s are 40. So I have a third of the range. Yeah, no, I think for now we will slot in the Pablos, and we'll just put them in here with the knowledge that I am planning to get the full 120, and then we can fill up this properly. So it's going to have like a big ugly gap, but it's okay. And then as I get the colours in, I can rearrange and stuff like that. And then when I finally get the full set in, then I'll figure out what my actual colour order for the Pablos is. For now, we'll just put them in the suggested order, because I haven't quite figured it out yet. Alright, cream. Pale yellow. But yeah, I do like Pablos as sort of like a mid-ground. So they're not as soft as Prisma, but they have got sort of like an opacity like Prisma. Not quite the same, not as opaque or as soft. So you can still sharpen them to a full point like a polychromos, but they aren't as firm as a polychromos, so they still blend together. And they're quite a good one to mix between the two. I find that they mix really well with both the poly and the Prisma. So yeah, they are my happy medium set, and that's why I like them. That's why I want to expand them out a little bit more too. So next time I place a order, which after doing all this, I might actually know if I need to or not. We can expand out on a few bits and pieces. Alright, Scarlet, Carmine Lake, Salmon Pink, Pink, Purple, Violet, but yeah, I wish there was someone out there who could kind of specify what colours were different in this set, because I would try and go for those ones first. But yeah, compared to like Polychromos and Prisma, because they do have some unique colours. Like this bluish pale is definitely not in any other set I own. It's like, it's different than the pale blues of the Prismacolor. It definitely doesn't match any blues in the poly, so yeah. Prussian, night blue, ultramarine. Before I've had some more blues in here. Blue jeans, but we need cobalt blue first. Cobalt, whoops. And then blue jeans. And then turquoise. Again, upside down, so I know that it's actually one I've been using on the page. Jade. Light green. God, it's already 10:23. We're doing alright though. Like, we're up to our second set. Well, third set technically if you count 3 hours. Spruce. Grass. Olive. Ochre. Green ochre. Light ochre. Brown ochre. Russet. That's in my hand. Russet. Burnt sienna. Umber. Black. Grayish black. Grey. Black grey. And then the other two of bluish pale and white. Alright, so there is our another container for me to figure out what to do with. But there's our Pablos. So again, they don't quite fill up a whole page yet, and I need to allow, so it's 50, 100 and that. So 120 should take up to there, and then that leaves a space there, which I will, that might have to be folded in half. Oh, that'll fit in there. Right now, colour charts are also fitting in there, which is very handy. So So that leaves this row here, and that's where I'll shove these random blenders or those random pencils. And then I do have a Derwent Colour Soft that I'll shove in there. I also have some metallic pencils by Derwent that I could put in here too. I've got a few random pencils that we can shove in here to fill this out, so I'm not worried about having that gap. It'll be quite handy. And then we get into our Polychromos pencils. There's the 2 colour charts. Talking about a very faded colour chart. Now this one I have 121 pencils because I have a discontinued Polychromos colour that I absolutely love, and I'm tempted to fold it in, but it does mean fully rearranging. So I am also going to put that in the odd pencils pile here that we're going to do, so that I know this is odd pencils. This is also where I could put like some pencil extenders, anything like that. Again, just one row of odd bits and pieces. If I want to put like a graphite pencil in here, or you know, if I'm taking this case and I know I'm going to want some gel pens or anything like that, just having one row where I know we can just shove things could be quite handy. Right, Polychromos. This is my current Polychromos case, keeping in mind again a few of these are out for our current in project page. We may have a few nubs along the way, but also my pencil extenders hold these for quite a while. So, and I think I did do a replacement. Yeah, there's just one that I really need to replace, so we will do that. I have not only a full entire set of Polychromos for replacement, but then I also have my own case of replacements. So I have a lot of Polychromos replacements. But again, they are my primary set, so I do use them a lot, but I could in theory just go through and just replace all these small ones. Right, so I think most of these are in the correct place, but we'll find out. Yeah, some of these have got old names, like I've got old names versus new names and stuff like that too, so I have to look at numbers rather than names because it gets very confusing very quickly when I look at names, because like that one there is 104, which is light cad yellow glaze on mine, which is actually zinc yellow, which is usually found in the green section, but I keep it in the yellows because it's more on the yellow fam. 107 cadmium, 108 dark chrome, 109, 111, 113, and also leaving a little bit of gap for each of these sets also helps if, you know, one day these companies that make these go, hey, surprise, we're extending our range. I would love for Polychromos to come out and go, surprise, we're extending our range to 150. I know that would take a hot minute because they would have to do it across, because the thing with Faber-Castell is it's not just one product. It's not like you can just extend the Polychromos to 150 because you've also got to match it to the Alberturas, and then like the markers and all that sort of stuff. All right, first rearrange, because that is 223, and then there should be 217. So I had those two marked up, but that's not bad. Brittany Daniels, hello, hello, welcome in. Kia ora. Right, this side I think is a little messed up. 225. 133. 142. It goes so much quicker when your pencils are actually in order. 226. 127. First row. Oh, I just love when they're in order. Just makes me so happy. Alright, 127, 124. 2, 3. Right, we want 125. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So I need 1, 2, 5. Well, these colours are also losing, or their numbers are wearing off because I've used them so much. 1, 2, 8. 1, 2, 9. And then it's 119. 135. See, a lot of these are getting small, but they're still very usable. And I'm always very hesitant. Don't know what colour you are. I think you're 194 or 134. Okay, so that should be 135, 194, 134, 160, then 138. We've got some in here. Pulley. It should leave just the Alberturas, ink tints, and the paint pens in Fairy. Yeah. So what do we got here? 136. You go after 138. You are 134, so you're there. So yes, you must be 160. Alright, 136, 137. And then 249. Ah, dropsy hands. Not good for the pencils. 141. Jump to, oops, I just realized you are all from the working pile. Right, and you should jump to 157, just there. Free 120, 140, and it's just the greys. Okay, so let's replace that one. 1, 3, 4. Do we have a replacement for 134 in here? have a lot of spare pencils as well because, again, I brought a big second-hand set when somebody was clearing out theirs as well. So, actually, no, I got gifted them because I brought something else from them, and then they just gifted me all their polychromos pencils because they didn't like them and they knew I used them a lot. So, there's a lot of pencils here. There it is. It's 194, not 134. It is red violet. And we have a spare. Very, very carefully. I'm gonna keep you out because I have a sneaking suspicion that that's the brown I need to replace, because the amount of times I've gone for a Van Dyke brown in the polychromos set, I cannot tell you, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that's the brown that we need to replace later on too. So I'm gonna keep you out, even though we could probably still squeeze a little bit more out of this one because I can't even read the number. I'm gonna retire it. When you can't read the number, it gets a bit awkward. Right, 247, so I want 151, helio blue reddish, and then we have cobalt blue, so we should have 120 ultramarine, and then 140, and then we want 146, 144, 110. It looks like the rest of these go back into order. Wasn't too bad with my order in these. Obviously, I've done a bit of a sort out recently. If you'll go into the slot. Okay, so that's 152. Yes, it is a 500 slot case with single slots. We're moving all our sets into here. Right, now these ones I have gone out of order a bit. We want 149 bluish turquoise, and then 246 Prussian, 155. Basically swap the dark to light instead of light to dark order around. Easy. So that's 154, and then we want 156. Which might be on the... The 156. 153, 154, 156. I need 158 still. There you are. 158. Greens are a little out of order, but that's okay. 276, 161. So you can find all the sets of your colour pencils easier. Yeah, exactly. Have them all contained in one, because I often mix my sets. So rather than having a ton of individual cases, having them all in one case. So I can also pick up and go with one case, but also have all the sets in one case. I did think about merging my sets into color order and having like a page for the greens, a page for the blues, a page for the purples, but I decided I would keep them separate just to make it a bit easier for now. But we can always change it around later. If I decide I want to change the order. Right. So that's 117, so I want 166, 112, 266, 167, 167, and we want 267. 278. Wow, my greens are really out of order. 165. 173. 170. 168. Oh, that's a good colour to end the row on. So now I start getting into the greenies, browns. 174. 172. 169. 192. 263. These need to be, this is another reason why I need to redo this colour chart, because it has the old names and they have renamed them. They are not these colours anymore. Cinnamon, Pompeii red. Yep, 191, 190. I think this one's mostly in order, so it should be quick. 188, 187, 186, 183, 185. I should replace you. You are, I've been meaning to replace you for a bit because you're getting a bit. Alright, 184. 268, 182. If I can't see the number, it's usually a good sign to replace something. If it's like sharpened down past the number. 180, 179. Oh, I stand corrected. Nope, you're in the wrong order. I was right. It is Van Dyke Brown. There is this also nub. Nougat, and then 280. Okay. Good thing you're almost empty. The vibrations knocked over my can. How many sets? I mostly use my polychromos, my Prismacolor, and my Pablos. So those are my main sets. I also have the Harmonious set and the Color 500 set I've just been gifted. I also have Crayola and Faber-Castell classic colors as well. So I have those student grade pencils. So yeah, those are the colors. But this set will contain my Polys, Pablos, Prismas, and the Harmonious. Naples Yellow, 185. Two more Retirement Home, contributions. Something so satisfying having them like that. Alright, so we basically have this one little chart left. One little tray, one little row. Sepia. I just realised, even though it doesn't match the colour swatch, I always swap around burnt sienna and burnt umber. I don't know why, it just makes more sense in my brain. And it's one of those things, when I redo the colour chart, I need to swap those two around, because I always end up putting burnt sienna after nougat and then burnt umber on this one. It just flows better in my brain. Alright, warm greys. These parts are easy because they are all just numerical order. Still see the number, so you don't get replaced quite yet. And then we do cold grey. I would love to just come in here and like spot these all for full length ones so it looks pretty, but it's also like wasteful. There's no point. Okay, Payne's grey. Black. And then the three most useless Prisma polychromos colours. Golds, the silvers, okay, most silvers are okay, but I really don't use those, but they're there. Alright, and then that's our polychromos sets in there. So yeah, we've got our Prismacolor, our Pablos, which is left room for expansion as I get more of the Pablos. And then we have the spear rack down here. So this one is an unfilled one. And we have polychromos. And then that ends there with a little bit of room there. So in theory, I could take the polychromos, the discontinued polychromos color, and shove that out there because it is a polychromos. And then, yeah, the harmonious. I might start up here and just carry on. Again, it won't fill one of these entirely. Hold up. No, I'm going to have to start here because these are 25. So we're going to 25, 50, 75. So all of this is going to be the harmonious. With just a couple of spears at the end here. So you have about 8 different sets of colour pencils in total. I guess so, if that's the math. I know, I don't count them. Again, the sets that I use the most are Polys, Prismas, and Pablos. It's only recently that I've got a few extra sets. And colour chart in the front. There's a little bit of weight to it. It's feeling a little full. All this marketing. I don't think I would get any other Castle Art products. Like, I don't love the pencils enough to rush out and get Castle Art pencils. But this colour set is so unique that I'm a big fan of this colour set. So, the only thing I don't like is this colour chart reads this way, but the pencils are ordered this way. And it's very confusing to me, unless it's designed that you have it facing you that way. But, yeah. I don't know. I always do pencil up. So, I know, that's always the way for me. Alright. So, 1. 2. But yeah, I'm not, like, the pencils are lovely. They're perfectly fine pencils. I still prefer my polychromos pencils. But as I said, the colorway is so unique on a lot of these that the set is very much needed, because you just don't get this color range in a lot of the other pencil sets. And if Castle Arts put out another very unique set like this, I would contemplate getting it. Have you ever tried any Holbeins? I have not. Oh, I think I've got some Holbein squash. That's as much as I've tried of theirs. Yeah, I've heard, like, Light Past and Luminance, obviously, meant to be absolutely amazing. Great. Oh, boys. Moonstone. Oak. Oh. Cocoa and dark chocolate. Tray 1. Also, fun fact, with whatever media they use to make these trays, they have their recycling numbers on it, but they're not recyclable here. Because they're number 6, and in New Zealand we can only recycle plastics 1, 3, and 5. So, unfortunately, the trays are going to landfill if I get rid of the trays. It's annoying that 1 purple starts there. I suppose in theory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I could, and I think I'm going to, which is going to sound weird, but each of their trays is their own little colour story. So if you look at the colour chart, the first 3 rows are all browns, the second 3 rows are the purples, and then the bottom row is your sort of greens and pinks, and it matches each of the trays. So because we do have a couple extra slots here, we are going to split these by row. And it does mean at the end of each row there will be 1 unused pencil slot, and that's okay. It will stop 1 purple being moved down here. Though it does work better for the blues. Done now. If I change my mind later, I change my mind later. I'll tell you what, this is actually starting to hurt my wrist a bit. Okay, so last set. Yeah, that's all good. I understand. My keyboard does that from time to time too. Has a mind of its own. Alright, one more. I hope I haven't swapped any of these pencils around because I haven't actually been looking at the numbers. I've just been putting them in. But at least this one is in numerical order, so it's pretty straightforward to actually like put them back because it's just numerical order. And just about there. And come on. $71 and $72. Yay! And once again, as I have discovered, color chart. Yeah, there's a little bit of a weight to it, but it's not bad. Like, could be worse. It's definitely a full pencil case. But it's very, very satisfying. I mean, it will be satisfying when I finish off the Pablos, because right now that big gap in the middle is a little on the annoying side. But that's just me and my... Oh, this makes me happy, because they're like the same size as well. Does make me like want to go through and have everything be like the full length pencil, but it's also a waste. And I don't like waste. That's that catch-22. But yeah, that works out really well. So we have all our Prismacolors for the first 3 pages. In the second, these pages here are our Pablos. So we've got 120 of them. So 50, 100, and then that with some room at the end, 5 spare. And then this is our spare row for whatever else I might want to shove in here. For any odd pencils or stuff like that. Just so that our polychromos starts on this side. Full 120 polychromos. Getting a couple of spares on the side, but it does mean I can put that violet there. There is like a weird varnish polychromos pencil I could chuck up there. But yeah, anything I want to chuck in there, got there. And then we've got the Harmonious set. And it all lives together in a nice case. That means now I don't have to get out 4 or 5 different sets, because it all fits into one. Yes, that is perfect timing, double A, because I do need a bathroom break. So we are going to take a little bit of a break here. We have been going for 2 hours. I'm just going to close that up fully. I like that. I think that's going to work really well. Having all the colour charts in the front, which I could also take out and just slot in there if I wanted to put something else in the front, such as a colouring book or something rather, but it's quite perfect. So now I have to find homes for, I have this empty 120 pencil case, which I'm sure eventually something will come up that I'll decide I want to put in here. I'll just keep that to the side. Because one day I'm sure there'll be something I want to put in a case. My very worn over the years Faber-Castell case. That's my Crayolas. So they're all in their own little case with some spare room for any other Crayola pencils that may come along. Yeah, it's super satisfying to get these things into, and it's going to, again, not only because before working with the pencils, I had to pull out this teal case, I had to pull out the blue case, I had to pull out the Caran d'Ache, and then I had to pull out that. And so all of that is now one, and I don't have to pull out all these trays. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with all these packaging bits. I still have my Prismacolor and my Derwent box as well, so I don't know. Like, I don't want to get rid. These are the trays from my Prismacolor box. I don't want to get rid of them, but also to do with those. I need to figure out, because I've got more Prismacolors here than fit in this box. So they'll fit in here with my spare polychromos. This is getting quite tight though. Don't know if you'll fit. Just fits. Oh, that's tight, but it does fit. Okay, perfect. That means now I have this, and this, which is a brand new set of polychromos pencils. So all these are currently spares. So these will probably go into my cupboard rather than where I store usable pencils. So let's clear the decks a little bit. Oh, it'll give us a stretch. Maybe a spare case and hold your spares in colour order. Yeah, I did think about that, but I have so many spares that I might. It's also a lot to fit in. Like right now, these are all fitting quite nicely in here. Plus we have. Oh, I dropped my phone on the ground. These are my watercolor spares. So it's got the cheap watercolor set, which I may even unhaul, and then it's got the spare Albert Dürers in here as well. So it's not quite full set of spares, but it is a lot of spares of the Albert Dürers. So I might pass those on to somebody. Yeah, it's only too many spares to fit for now, but you've seen how many short ones are in my case. Like, a good amount of colouring and a lot of pencils are going to be swapped over. Like, there's a lot of near nubs. So yeah, all this now are spare pencils. So I think I can see where to put them actually. Gonna have to do a little rearrange. which is fine because the candy should be on the candy shelf, not on a crafting shelf. It is actually quite the perfect little slot for this whole lot. It'll fit quite nicely. So there's like a pantry beside me, and it's a spare cupboard. Oh, there's a second nail breaking off. That's my glue. These nails have been on for a few days and the glue is wearing out. I love seeing the used pencils. It's all the colouring love. Exactly. So yeah, we've managed to get like 6 or 8 cases down to just this now, which is really quite significant. And then if we come over here, I might put you on full screen. So we're standing up for a minute. See the nails that broke off. Oh look, 2 of them broke off there. Oh yeah, 2 of them are down there. Because I'm wearing fakes and the glues. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's just move this. Oops. Ah, that's fine. Okay, welcome to full screen. So up here is where the pencils are going to live. So I need to move these things. These are the posters. This is the one colouring item I have not quite figured out where it's going, and these are posters, and one of these is a watercolour colouring book. You don't fit the problem is these don't fit anywhere except for standing up on the side, which if we take this away, which as I said, this is a Prismacolor box that holds the Derwent Inktense tin. I started off with a 36 set of Inktense and slowly broke that set out too. Caran d'Ache box that's in there. I don't think this will fit in there, will it? No. Wonder if it'll shop with those in there. And the tin. Not really. Okay, you will fit if I get the tin out. I don't know what I'm doing with these. These are all empty tins, so... But I also can't bear to throw these away, and this is the ridiculous problem of why Amy has so much crap. Because they're good tins and they're good boxes. Yes, Pencil Voter, welcome in. We have been doing a bit of organisation. The wonderful stickers on this case, by the way, PB stickers, Pencil Voter stickers. So yes, we took out my Prismacolors from here, put in my Crayola pencil set in here, and then we took this massive 500 slot pencil case and we put in Prismacolor, Pablo's, Polychromos and the Harmonious colour set. So they're all in there. So we just sorted out all of those, which is fantastic. And now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get them over here, because we also have, so this case here holds the Inktense. So these are my 2 water-soluble cases. We have the Albert Durers and then the Inktense are these 2 cases. You are now an empty case. And then you can see just over here, we've got the Color tub, and then these are the Faber-Castell classic colours, which is another set that I often give my nibblings to use if I'm not in a use my fancy art supplies case set. So in theory, they all fit in there. You might be better to go that way with your string hanging down that way. Because the reason I need a certain amount of room is because I need to fit this in. Tight, but it will fit. Because that's where my markers are going to live, next to my tub of cheap markers. Once I get through more of these, it will be good, because then this is my Copics up here. So we'll be going to just the Copics. But it will fit in there adjust. It's tight, but it will fit. Hold on to them for traveling. Yeah, I'll still hold on to the cases. I can't not put the cases. They're good boxes. But yeah, for now I don't know where they'll live. But they're just on top of my cupboard, on top of one of my tech boxes, so they're still got to go through. Should see if my Switch dock is in there. Anyway, PB, sorry that you just came in, but we're going to take a quick little break here because I got to pee. And then when we're back, we'll start sorting out the markers and get onto the marker organisation, which is going to be a mission and a half. But again, once that one's done, like already the desk is so much more emptier having sorted that all out. And then I just have to find homes for all the empty pencil cases, which I've got a few of them of. So yeah, it's looking good. We're getting there. I'm already feeling a lot more in control, like we have calmed a lot of the chaos. So that's a win. And then hopefully I can start dealing with the pile of crap over here. Alright. So yeah, I'll see you shortly. Just gotta go to the bathroom. And then we'll be back. Okay. So much better. Okay, yeah, you can never get away the cat hair. The cat hair is notorious. That's my next job, is to try and vacuum. Right, water-based markers. So, we have a lot of water-based markers to try and sort out here. I have 100 set of jewel tips. I have 120 set of fiber tip markers. I have one of the pastel sets. And then I also have, now this is already in the box, but there may be some that are dead or dying, and so we can swap them out if we need to. I do also have this set of Faber-Castell connector pens, and I did talk about how I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to fold these in or not. But I had a thought while I was putting away other stuff, because I don't actually use these with these, because connector pens actually operate differently. So what I find with like super tips and all the other water-based markers that I tend to use is that they sit on the surface quite nicely. You can blend and play, but super tips have a tendency to, not super tips, connector pens have a tendency to drop straight down, and I don't know if that's because of the way it's tipped. But these ones bleed through a lot more on certain pages. However, they are useful if I'm doing something single-sided to come in with like pointillism or fine liners. So I'm going to keep these ones separately because I use these ones differently. I may fold them in eventually, but also I don't know if I'm going to fit everything in here, because like we've got 240 more markers to add into this box. So, you know, and it's already quite full, so I don't know about also adding in 50 connector pens, but we'll see what we can do. So as you can see, I have these all bundled into groups, and the idea is that these are color groups, and I can just go in and go, oh yeah, this is like the sky blue set, or this is a green set, or this is a purple set. Some sets have gotten messed up though, so I also kind of need to sort some of these out as I go on. I'm also going to be taking out some markers. For example, these ones here that came for free with a colouring book, the perfectly fine markers, I just don't like using them, so I'm going to pull them out, just put them into a donation box that I have. So any one of these chunkier markers that I see, I'm just going to pull those out too. I wish I could build and send you some racks like mine. I would love your rack for my alcohol markers, but I would also need to be able to pick it up and move it consistently, because I don't have room for it to live on my desk, so it needs to live behind me. But as long as I can pick up and move it, that would be fantastic. I can already see we've got some loose markers in here too. So let's start by just pulling everything out. Ooh. Get rid of all the hair. I did keep an alcohol wipe nearby just so I could dust the bottom of this, because I had a feeling it was a bit... It's got lots of little bits in it. Could always put the rack on a tray, could be precarious. So yeah, PB has a marker rack that has been built out of, I think it's PVC pipe, isn't it? But it's really neat, and of course she can expand it whenever she needs to add in more markers and stuff like that, so it's really neat. This works well for me for the water-based markers for now anyway. I moved my Tombow super tip racks that's on the top of my desk. The larger ones can move by too, but they can be heavier for low mobility. Yeah. Yeah, it would be better than the rubber bands, but the rubber bands work. And it just means I can put them in this tub, which is technically a, like, I don't know, that's a steamer, so they're like food storage containers, but I don't know. I use them for all sorts of things. One of these has got my washi tapes in it too. Okay, so that cleans out the bottom a bit more. Alright, let's start with some of these piles and try and figure out what we're going to do. So we'll probably start with the pastels because they're easier. Now, you might be like, well, why are you going to mix the pastel sets into your regular set? Like, you're not going to... I got gifted free box of these, free sets of these, so I could very easily just go to the shop and pull off another set if I wanted to exclusively use a pastel set, but I want these also mixed in with my regular water-based markers, so that's why I'm going to merge these sets. But the first thing I'll put away is the Colours of the World sets, because they don't change. Those are the Colours of the World. They're set up by the Almond, Golden and Rose families. They don't change. Now there are a few loose super tips around, and you'll see that these actually tape on these. These are actually the colours I use for any day. I marked them when I first did it donkeys years ago, and it's been the most useful thing I've done, so if I swap any of those colours out, I have to remark them. I think I need to move you off the desk. It's not like we're going to be putting these away for a while. I think I need to actually just have one set of you on the desk at a time. I have one for my Copics, one for acrylic markers, and one for my water-based markers. Yeah, that makes sense. I did sort out my, I also have one of those tubs for my paint pens now, but I sorted out my paint pens by matte and then like metallic glitter sparkle paint pens. So one tub is now just matte paint pens and one is acrylic paint pens. I got gifted some Thule pastel paint pens. PB. I got gifted the Thule pastel paint pen set, and it's very, very cool. Right. More loose markers. You might be loose because you might be dead. Pink, pink, blue, black, browns, blue greys, purples, darker purples, coming out, light mint, swap those around. I don't know if you're blue or grey, so you can just go there. Orange, peach, the clear one. Wow, you can see how much of my hair is tangled up in all these markers. Loose one. Grey. I'm pretty sure that grey has got completely messed up because there was never that many greys. Greens. Pinks. The extra fine pastel set, and I love it. I think that's the set that I got gifted. The very, very fine nibs, and it's very pretty. I don't think that blue goes in there, but whatever. Again, we're going to sort this out later. Browns. Just go there. Yellows. Greens. More purples. More blues. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There should be a couple more of these. There's one. And there's the other one. Alright. And then, because I got piles of them, rubber band. Rubber band those together, and then they'll get donated. Not going to get thrown out, but they will get donated. Alright, first things first. These loose markers here. I have a feeling. Yeah, you are basically dead. Goodbye. You are dead, so we need a replacement. You are dead. Let's move you a bit closer. And then you're loose because you're the clear. You're loose because you're the any day colours, which I could actually rubber band myself. So I'm thinking you look like a match. There we go. Juicy replacement. Goodbye. This is a colour that I used when I did the Jack and the Beanstalk page, and that's why this colour ran out. Okay, so one of these should be the more brown greens, which I think is a set. Yeah, these are more like earthy greens. So what I might do as well, because one of the things that's been annoying me about this is that it's quite hard for me to sometimes tell what set is which. So I might make little labels while we're at it too, because why not? I thought I had scissors around here. Oh yeah, my phone, I dropped it on the floor. And it's just been chilling on the floor this whole time. I don't know where anything is around here at the moment, sorry. I had a pair of scissors somewhere around here. Again, it's absolute chaos around here at the moment, so apologies. Ooh, I wonder if I put them in my crochet bag. I bet there's a pair of socks in there. Forgot I brought those. They should be in the bedroom. It's the nibblings. It's faux food. Apparently they gave me a piece of pie last time I looked after them. It. You need to go back out to the lounge. Ah, there's a big pair of scissors. I think I need to put on some fingerless gloves. Good idea. Glitter isn't real pie. Yeah. No. They have a play kitchen with like faux food and stuff like that. So they like making up little plates and serving us lunch and stuff like that. So. And then we pretend to eat. So yeah, it's just that. But yeah, could have been worse. This should help my brain, because I know I have a tendency to be like, what colours are these ones again? And then I have to keep re-swatching and swatching. So if I just have a little note in them, then I'll know. This one is, for example, earth greens. And I know what earth greens means. That means it's earthy greens. So I can just look at that. And it's going to help me out as we go through this. Okie dokie. So this one is like a pale red. So it is pinky, but it is also red. So I have actual red. You're meant to be peaches. And then this is where I get confused. I know you're meant to be like cool cool reds, like moving more into the pinks, really, like dark pinks. Purpley pinks. You're quite warm. Then you're technically, you have a different undertone. You definitely go together. So you go more with the pastel. You're a warmer pinks and you're a cooler pinks. Let's do that. Let's make these cooler pinks and let's make these warmer pinks. And then we'll make purple pinks a separate category. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of me rearranging some color groups. But this is how you're a cooler pink. This is how my brain works when I go for colors. It's like cooler pinks, warmer pinks, and then we can separate those further if we need to into technically could be a mid, could be considered cool, could be considered warm. Interesting. You're definitely warm, but you're more on the red side. Cool, but more on the red. No, you're dark cool. And warm. Okay. So, warm pinks is a nice little bunch. So when I first started sorting this all out, it took me so long. As you can imagine, like trying to figure out where does each colorway go. Okay, now this one is dried. It's actually dried a bit warmer, so I'll chuck you in here. What I should do is I should set up like little group charts and being like, this is what's in each family. Right, a couple of these are quite dark. Do I want to separate them out further? Yeah, I like that little cluster together. So yeah, there's still different tones within each family, but it just kind of helps. What I might do is once I've sorted everything, maybe we will make up a little swatch card and I'll just, rather than doing like, trying to be like, this is this pen, this is this pen, I'll just do like sections. Just be like, this is the warm pinks, this is the cool pinks, this is the, and just like cluster them like that so I can see what is in each cluster. Now decided you were a red. It might need to separate out into brown reds and pure reds. Getting headbutts? I'm surprised I haven't been getting headbutts, so you are definitely a cool pink. Oh, get in the bundle. And so you would think with that tip, it looks like a peach, and you'd be like, oh, that's a peach. No, it's a cool pink. And this is why we don't trust Crayola's colour tips. Right, so you're definitely going into the peaches. I'm here for all the organisation. Glad you all are enjoying it, because this is another one of those jobs that I've been putting off doing that I've needed to do and just haven't gotten to. Gonna hunt for any other pens spread around my room. It's amazing how things can just migrate. Yeah, they really do. They really do migrate around. Have you tried the Gold Faber aqua markers? I have not. Peach. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the peach. Yeah, so you're, I'd call you orange. Light orange, but definitely more on the orange side. Do we maybe do a peach orange and then a peach pink? Is that how we want to separate this? Because that's more of an orangey peach. And it kind of works like that. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do pink peach, orange peach. Don't know. I have a lot more than 108 markers, Brittany, so that wouldn't hold my water-based markers. I have 240 markers to mix into my existing markers. So, yeah. Appreciate the suggestion, but I like my bundled approach. The bundles work a lot better for me, because I will be working with water-based markers and go, I need this, and then I'll go and grab that. So that tends to be how I operate. Yeah, you're orange peach, and I'm going to put you in orange peach. So we have like light pink peach, and then we have the more orangey peaches. You got me wanting to put around my desk, which I need to do anyways. Yeah. They're really similar to Tombow, but made by Faber-Castell. Yeah. Faber-Castell do some good stuff. Alright. Orange. Orangey peach. Okay. So you are our pink peaches. My favourite markers are Tombows and Faber-Castell Pit Art markers, but I also like the Bic brush markers. Oh, good to know, Janine. Janie, sorry. Yeah, I have a couple of Tombows. I mean, very few Tombows. I was gifted a set, actually, by PB. It was a spare set. I think the tropical set that you sent me. But, yeah, they are very, very neat. But I also really like super tips. I like how cheap they are to replace. I just wish they were numbered. But yeah, the Tombows are absolutely great. I have a complete mixture of water-based markers. I've heard great things about the Pit Art markers and the other Indian ink markers. Can't think of the name, but I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. And they look like a lot of fun to play with, the ink markers. But at the same time, not a priority in terms of expenses. I have more than enough art supplies to keep playing with what I need to play with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a tropical set. Rounded out the pens, well done. Okay. Alright, next colour in the pastel set is the yellows. So, no, I need to separate these into two bundles, especially as we add in more. So we're going to do a warmer yellow and a cooler yellow, basically. So that's like a cool yellow. So it's more like lemon yellows versus golden yellows. That's what we're going to do here. Sometimes you want a cooler yellow and sometimes you want a more orangey yellow. You go into the warm. I think you're technically more on the cool, but we'll see as we add some more around. You go into the more green yellows. Green yellow. You know you do go into the orange yellows. Dirty nib, but also orange yellows. Orange yellows. Green yellows. You are actually in the greens. You're the yellow greens. You are the orange yellows. You're a pastel version. I need to go tend to my dinos. Didn't do it earlier because it's been a long day. All good. You have a wonderful rest of the day, PB. Enjoy the chickens. Alright, that's the warm yellows. Let's see if these runaways under my desk or bed. Yeah, under the bed is always a notorious place for runaways. Alright, I need another rubber band because I've turned one into two. So I'm going to call this one lemon yellow. And I know that'll mean the more, compared to the warm yellows, that'll mean the more greeny, cooler yellows. So I don't want to call it green yellows because there is definitely a bundle that is yellow greens. It is very different. In my mind, anyway. How my brain works for colour organisation. I'll be back. Just gotta dump food and steal the offspring. Okay. Right, so the only colourway that's not been sorted is the reds and the oranges. So we might as well do that. Because we're here. I'll turn the page. So I think the reds I'm going to need to sort into a light and dark. It might seem like I'm like splitting these bundles a lot, but I also know I've got a lot to add to these bundles. So it's like I'm preemptively separating so that we've got differing. Yeah, so you're like a cooler red. So we might do warm and dark again. It's usually a good way to separate colours. Though most of the reds are probably going to be on the warm side. We'll have a look. We'll see how we go. If they're all on the warm side, I might just move that one to another group. Just make it more on the purpley. So right now this is actually looking quite harmonious as a group. With the exception of that one. Yep, that makes it easy. You are going to be one, and you are going to move to a different group. You're going to move to a more purpley pink group. So we will still keep the reds as one. I believe there is a brownie red later on that is like more browns focused. That may have a bit more red tint or something. I think those have been merged into the browns. So yeah, I think the red is just going to be pretty straightforward red. And then, as I said, that will move into one of the colours around here because it's really is a cool dark pink with a bit of a purple to it. Alright, let's figure out these oranges. Might be in a similar boat where we really can't split these much further. You are a warm yellow. Ooh. Could technically go in yellow. You are quite similar to some of our other warm yellows, so let's move you into yellow. Move you into the warm yellows. I'm not fond of Sharpie's regular point. And the Stadler's bigger end is hard to control. I find the Stadler, if you're talking about the Stadler dual end ones, their thick end is very much like a Crayola Super Tip, which I'm a big fan of. But again, the great thing about markers is there's so many types out there that you can find what suits you. Yeah, so I think by removing those couple of more yellows than oranges, we now have a pure orange set. I like the Crayola Super Tip style tips, so the Stadler double-ended fiber tip pens are very much like a Crayola Super Tip with a fine liner. So I am very much a fan of them, but I also understand a lot of people don't like the Crayola Super Tip, and it can take a moment to get used to it. So if you're not a fan of it, I understand as well. But the great thing about water-based markers is there's so many types out there. So find what works for you. Earrings hidden under the desk. Nice. Right. So now we'll go back to our order of the pastels, which actually takes us to green. So we're going to skip ahead to the greens. Because there are some pastely pinks at the end, so we'll skip ahead to the greens because we also have some loose greens. Right, so we have the earth green set there. We have a lot of different sets here. I think the greens are a little messed up at the moment, but I also use a lot of greens, so it does make sense. Right, so you are a very light mint green, but you've still got a bit of yellow to you. You're definitely in the yellow green. You're more like a leaf green, and then I'm pretty sure those go into sort of minty. Yeah, so you're like a mint. You're a pale mint. And so you're a teal, so I do you as a whole different group as well. So I think we have the yellow greens, and then the grassy greens. Okay, we can work with this. You look like a grassy green. Yes. Switch these. Oh, sorry, I'm a little off kilter. We'll do that. It's a bit, we're working in some very odd spaces right now. Your voice made me fall asleep. I'm both sorry and you're welcome. I'm glad you got some sleep. Do you like midliners and clicker? I find them nice to work with. I've never worked with either of those, Janie. Right, green, yellow. Go in the spam. These colours are like all the same. Ooh, not you. You're not that colour either. I maybe we'll do another group for that one. I don't know. I'll come back to that one. I feel like, no, you can go down here. Do that one. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Ah. Kinder is a darker colour in there. Yeah, because that's more cooler. We'll keep you with the grassy greens. You're like a dark grassy green. You go into the yellow greens. Yep, you're more of the earthy yellow greens. You're that group. You're a lighter version, but you do go with that one. Okay. So, we want one that says yellow greens, which is this group here. Oh, tell you, I keep on sneezing today. I think the pollens are up in force again. I love your pumpkin top. Thank you. It is a very comfy blanket hoodie. We love a good blanket hoodie here. Cat had great fun yesterday sleeping on my bed on top of all my brand new cleaned blanket hoodies. It's like, of course, Cat, of course. Right. So this bundle I am calling grass greens. Now, it may not be grass greens to anyone else, but in my mind, this is a grass green. I know what that means. It means sort of like an appley green, sort of like that sort of. Apple green is another good term for it. But I know it as grass green, so that's where I keep it in my brain. If we take these away, in theory we should have a leaf green, and then we should have a darker green as well. Every time you say blanket hoodie, I think of like a Snuggie, but it's just a fleece hoodie. Yeah, it's got the snuggly coral fleece type outside, but then it has got the fleecy inside as well. So it's like an hoodie, or I think a Snuggie. I don't have any Snuggies, but yeah. It's a polar fleece hoodie, basically. The difference between this and my hoodie is these are thinner fleeces, and it hits me more like an actual sweatshirt as opposed to the hoodie, which is a bit longer. So it feels more like you are just wearing a hooded. Snuggies are legit blankets. Yeah, no, it's not a blanket. Yeah. Okay, so that's earth greens up there, and we're going to do these into what I call leaf green. At the end of the day, however you sort your markers is what works for you, as long as it makes sense to your brain. Right, this is a cooler one, so you should go over there, even though you're significantly darker, because one of these is warmer. You go with that one up there, which is more teal. Okay, I think is that one there? Yes, it is. Right, you're the teal. Yeah, you're the grass. And then I think you're like dark earthy green. So you should actually be in that bundle. Kill this one. You're more that one. You're more that one. You're not earth based, you're more neutral based, so you actually go with that one. You go with the spam over here. For that Pam. So it's basically sorting warmer greens and cooler greens. Is what I'm kind of going for. And then pulling out anything that's more of a brown green. Here, cooler. I don't even need to. You go. I mean, anything that's like a very clear teal is over there. So you get absorbed into earth greens. Leaf greens. And then cool greens. And then teal. Again, the colorways may not make sense to anyone else, but they make sense to me, and that's how I need to, like, again, when I'm thinking, okay, this needs a warm leafy green, then I go to said bundle, and then I have different tones in the bundle, but I know everything in that bundle is of a similar family, which is how I do this. Need to go getting ready for Eileen Vic's colouring group. All good, Janie. I'm so glad you could pop in. I hope you have a wonderful time. Come in 108. That's all good, Brittany. I have seen the LePew ones around, but yeah, like, I'm happy with the colours, the sets that I have. Like, I know that there's some wonderful brush sets out there, and maybe eventually if I want to get more brush sets, I might look into it. I know you've recommended the LePew ones a few times, and then these are Tombos as well, but yeah, I don't know. I really like my super tips. I just keep gravitating towards my super tips. Even though I have different sets, I go to the super tips, and then I do pull in a couple of the Faber-Castell ones. I did look into the La Plume ones because you can get individual colours, and I know I was running out of like a really dark blue, which I will now have because it was one of the Stadler ones. So I was looking into that for individual colours that I could buy. But then, yeah, I didn't get around to getting it. The sale ended. No, that colour was out of stock. The one colour that I was looking into, they were out of stock of. That's what happened. Alright. Is in heaven. Yeah. So many colours. Right, so I think this is a bundle of its own that is grey greens, which is different than earth greens. You could go somewhere else. You could go somewhere else. You are definitely a grey green. You... Oh. No, you're too earthy. You're going into earth greens. And then you... going into cool greens. Now it's possible I may change grey greens into, like, if there's a couple of grey blues as well and a couple other greyed colours, I might make a little grey bundle, like grey tints or something. Because I don't foresee a lot more happening in there, but for now these can be separate. Get in there, tiny little tag. Right, so I know we're going to start again. We have these two teal colours. I bundled them up, but I'm going to add to this bundle, I just know it. So we may switch out. Yeah, because some of these are more pale than others. See, you are too warm and you're too green. You're not on the blue fam, you're on the green fam. You go into... Nope. No. No, maybe you do kind of go in here. No, you're not a cool green. You're definitely a warm green. So you go into... You're not a grass green though. You're a leaf green. You're a cool leaf, pastel leaf green. That one's more on the green fam as well. Pastel cool green, but you're definitely more green than blue. This one should be more on the blue fam. You are the colour too. Alright, so in theory that should leave quite a... That one may get pulled out. Yeah, so this one goes into... kind of works in both. Like a little bit more on the leaf greens. Glitter of the week. Got new English edition of Rita Berman. Nice. Nice. Yeah, there are some very pale colours in here. Alright. So this is where things are going to get really messy. And this bundle has always been messy. So I kind of need to sort these blue-green versus green-blue, I think. Yeah, so you're definitely... I call you more sky blue. You're definitely teals. You're more a green. Yeah, so you're more on the blue fam. A lot of these are a lot more on the blue fam than the green fam. Then you go more into the green. You're more into the green. Green, could be blue. Definitely blue. You belong somewhere else. These are the more bluey greens, and then they're the more greeny blues. Finally found something to colour, just one of my one colour books. That's perfect, perfection. Gonna see me lurk a bit, so the desk, enjoy the vibes and relax. It's been a productive morning. Well done. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Enjoy your work. Alright, so where are you gonna go? You're more of a cool... Yeah, let's put you on cool greens. You're a very dark cool green. But you're not an earthy green. You definitely got more of a blue tone. And then you go into... So, I wrote teal, but because knowing my brain, so teal is blue greens, so it's more prevalent on the greens, but it's got a bit of blue. That's what I mean by teal. Don't worry, even I confuse myself between teal and aqua. So teal I read is, or was it the other way around? Because when you say, yeah, so teal and aqua is one of those things where one is blue green and one is green blue, but it's also your interpretation of it. I've written that. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to call this bundle aqua, which is blues with a touch of green. So it's still blue prominent, but it's blues with a touch of green. I may change my mind. You can see why. Like, when I first started sorting out my markers, this took me hours. And, like, it's still not 100% perfect. I don't think it ever will be. Right. Blue. Sky blue. And it's moving into purple. Alright. Blue bundles. Pretty sure you're like, yeah, the bright blue, so you're a bundle on its own. You go with this one right here. You go with this one, so it's more, it's not quite like the green blues of this, where it's got quite a bit of green. It's more like sky blue. You go with that one. Again, it's basically warm versus cold. You're sky, but you're a pale sky. You are definitely more... Oh, do I put you into the purple? No, that's pale purple. It's not blue. This bundle over here. This bundle over here. You're this bundle, you're just darker. I think you go more. Kind of fit into both, to be honest. It's very neutral. Fits better with the cool fam. Right, I think these are the grey blues. They're very like, they're like the grey greens. They've got a very grey blend into them. Sent you a picture, Amy. I need some advice for the background. If I do, and if yes, what colour? Like a dark to light colour. Alright, let me have a look. I need to pull up Instagram. Oh, that's cute. I don't think it needs a background, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I'll pull it up in case anyone else wishes to contribute, but I don't think it needs a background. Like, there's so much colour in that reef, and it's all about the reef. Yeah, I don't think it needs a background. I think it's beautiful as is. Not every page has to have a background. If you were to do a background, maybe some sort of like bokeh colour blend or something like that. But again, I really don't think it needs one. Yeah, it's understandable. Like, sometimes it feels like you have to have a coloured background, but sometimes you just really don't. Grey blue. Beautiful as is, but if you want a background, go light, maybe a gentle cream colour. There you go. Smalt we trust. Back from errands. Welcome back. We are on Marker Chaos. Right, you are definitely royal and going into your own. You're more a navy. Navy. I might just keep this one bundle and just keep this dark blues, because I like that we've got dark blue, sky blue, and then the cool blues. I think that's a good, and then we've got the grey blues as another bundle as well, because this all just kind of works as like a dark blue bundle. So we'll do that. We got dark blues, cool blues like powder blues, and then like a sky blue. We've got grey blues, and then we've got like the blue greens. So we've got dark blue, sky blue, cool blues. And then I need to make some more tags. Basically just got the purple pinks and the browns to sort out anyway. Not that there's any browns, but there is purple and pink in this pastel set. And then the pastel set is all sorted. So yeah, what I think I'll do, because rather than swatching and being able to be like, oh yeah, this is the specific pen, because you can't tell with these because I've mixed the bundles up. What I might do is I might grab some card and put them on like a little ring and just like do a card for each bundle, just to show, just to like group it together, so you can just see what I do here and be like, oh, this is this bundle, this is this bundle. So I might do that, but I don't know if we'll get to that today because it's already been over 3 hours. Did all the pencils since 520 make it into the colour pencil condominium? Yes, they did. So I can grab it, but it's over there. So we got the Pablos, Prismas, Polys, allowing room for the full set of Pablos eventually. We have one row, which is like 25 slots, that is just like open for any fill-ins. So I chucked in like a couple of blender pencils, the one Derwent Coloursoft that I have. I also have some like metallic Derwents that I might chuck in there. no, Caran-d'Ache, metallic Caran-d'Ache. Like, there's some odd pencils that I could chuck in that row. And then we got the, yeah, so Prismas, Pablos, Polys, and then Harmonious are all in the one. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, the Colouring Mermaid. Welcome in. Welcome in. Right, what was I up to? Next bundle. Right, these are the last ones of the pastels that we've got to work in. Cat hair everywhere. Just steal the edge of this sheet so that I can make some more strips. And then we can finish off our last couple of bundles. And then we can really start swatching all the new pens and figuring out whereabouts on earth these things go. All good, Brittany. I will check that out later on. Alright, so you're definitely more a purpley, like lilac purple. And then still on the cooler purple side. I think you're still on the coolest. Yeah, so yeah, I would almost put you as cloud blue, not purple. So I'm gonna merge you in there. And then you're a warmer purple. And then you should be on the purpley pinks. Alright. So in theory, this should be our cool purples. See, you're verging onto warmer. And you're definitely cool. You're definitely cool. You're definitely cool. You're definitely cool. Yeah, no, after you've dried a bit, you've definitely gone into the cool purple, bam. So yeah, you were a good bundle. Yay. I would call it like lavender or lilac or something like that, but it's once again can get quite confusing. I'd rather just call this one cool purple. And just put light in there so I know it's not dark tones. Because the dark purples live in a different one. Cool light purples. And then these are our bundles that are left. Oh good, Brittany. I will read the email after stream and reply back. Probably after my nap. I usually have to go straight down for a nap after stream. So yeah, I think these are cool dark purples, which in theory could be merged with the other cool purples, but that's already quite a big bundle, so it's quite nice to have these separate, except for that one, because that's almost like grade purples again. I think I want to keep that one separate, maybe. What do we have here? You're dying. Let's replace you. Goodbye. juicy new marker. Love new marker. Okay, so yeah, you're warmer. You're more cooler. And yeah, so you're more warmer, and you do tie in with this one, even though you're pastel, you're still in the same fam. This is still our odd man out. It is a cooler purple, but it's too... Yeah, I guess that's why I put it with that. It's kind of odd, but it is the best family for it, is the cool dark purples. I just realized how many markers you're about to have. Yeah, keeping in mind that we've got 220 more markers to fold into this. This is why we're taking the time to sort this out first, because... Yeah. It's a lot. So this is why the first time that I sorted out all these markers, it took me like a couple of hours, and I don't even know if we'll get to starting to fold the other markers in, because I've just been basically going over these markers. Right, so you are warm purples. Now I need to figure out which one of these are purples and which ones of these are purple pinks. I haven't even finished rewatching last episode because I fell asleep last episode and I was meant to rewatch it, and then I entirely forgot. So I still need to rewatch part of last episode. I kind of still need to rewatch the first episode. Yeah. I'm finding it really hard to watch it live, to not be able to pause it when I need to pause it, because I haven't been able to focus. So yeah, I think probably not, just because I'm struggling with the focusing aspect right now. Right, I have no idea why this color is in with the purples. You are a sky blue. I mean, your desk isn't big enough for the project. Yeah, so keep in mind that my desk is not only a big owl corner desk, so it's like a 1.2 by 1.8 meter desk. I have a table that is 1.2 meters sitting beside it. So literally one wall, which is 3 meters, which is like 9 feet, more than 9 feet. I know. One wall is entirely surface for me to do art on, but there's been so much stuff piled on this that I haven't been able to function, which is a big reason why I needed to do this big clear sort out. So yeah, so you can go into there. You do kind of work in there, and then that becomes more pinky purples. Okay, so this gives us warm purples. And then we're starting to get into the pinky purples. And then I have one bundle of pinks, which I might be able to work into existing pinks. Yeah, no, I like that as a bundle. So that's warm purples, both light and dark. Just so it's nice and clear, we'll do another little these are our pinky purples. So technically in there we already have like 2 ways that we could separate it, keeping in mind that we have already got a cool pinks bundle. I might need to call it cool pinks red tone and then cool pinks purple tone, because we have cool and warm in here, unless we call them indigo. Yeah, violet, indigo, I don't know, you know. Right, let's figure out what this is first, because I have got a cool pinks bundle, but it's more like reddy pinks. I get the feeling that these are going to be like bluey pinks. Right, you go with that lot there. And you go with that lot there. You still got too much of a cool undertone. Got that one, not really the other one. You definitely don't belong in this bundle at all. You are definitely that bundle, which is the warm pinks. Doesn't matter how big your desk is, it's never big enough, exactly. No, the only thing we've added in so far is the pastel super tips. That is literally all I've added in so far. And then just trying to clean up and sort out the existing bundle. Okay, so you... Yeah, so all of you can go into the cool pinks. It's all three... Yeah, all three of you are cool pinks with a red undertone. And then if I was to do this as one mixed bundle and just call it I don't know what I'll call it, but do you work as one bundle? Call it pinky purples. That'll do. We'll just call it pinky purples. That's what it is. It's a mixture. It's not quite cool pinks, but it's pinks with purples. But it's not the same as cool pinks. Warm fuchsias, cool fuchsias, warm blushes, cool blushes. That is a way better way of wording it. Thank you. And that means I could actually separate this into two. There's only two that would actually get pulled out. So I'm just going to call this one fuchsias. Fuchsias is the right word there. Because there's actually only two that would pull out for the cool. That's way better than pinky purple mix. Thank you, Smalt. That still keeps the cool pinks. Which probably, again, keeping in mind you're also viewing this through a webcam that does tend to change colour. So some of these colours may not look 100% right. Alright, so the last one that we have that don't have any super tips to mix into, but we have the browns, blacks and greys. So the black is easy because black just gets bundled into one. Each of these blacks are actually very different. One's like a blue black, one's a red black and one's a neutral black. So it's quite handy to have them in their own bundle. So black. That one's pretty straightforward. I'm not even going to swatch that one because I don't need to. Alright, so the grey has gotten very messed up because this used to be in 3 separate bundles. I used to have a light, medium and dark grey. And so this bundle has just gotten absolutely messed up. So you're a warm grey. You're a cool grey. I think that's how I want to separate it because that's more likely how I would. Cool grey. And the cool. You in the warm. on warm. And you're definitely cool. My internet is feeling the heat and kind of being poopy, so what I'm seeing is a bunch of abstract impressionist grapes. I mean, yeah, could be. Could be. You're more warm? Yeah, I'll put you on warm. Some of these are quite neutral. Teal blue. I wonder if I go back to my light, medium, dark. It did work. I did like having because some of these are very like neutral as well, so I think I'll go back to my light, medium, dark because it just works better. Alright, so you're definitely a dark. I should have pulled out that light colour. I'll make you medium for now. See, it's also subjective here too. This is hard. I think I just pulled a couple out that were like uber light, and I just made sure I had a light section and then everything else went together. I think that's all I did, was I tried to keep the really light colours side, but I think I've actually dried up and used most of the light colours, so you're a light. And I've used one of them, it's in the bin. Not you. Not you. Yeah, and see if I do that, you were one of the light ones. You can see all the different tones of grey that you can get though. You can see even you. So those three are the specifically light greys. I had two others, but I used them up entirely. And then apart from like one really dark grey, you could almost go into black, but it's not actually a black, it's a dark grey. The rest of these are all just sort of various mids. Well, we'll keep these three separate. See what we can do. Let's see if we can separate these into cool and dark. And if I get confused, I'll do some neutrals. Yeah, so you're definitely a warm. You're in warm. So I put it into cool, but it's almost like a green grey. You're warm. Apart from the first one that I put down, which is a blue, the rest of these are actually turning out to be more green greys, and then you're a more blue grey. You kind of work in green, you kind of work in warm. I think you're more warm. Yeah, no, you're dark, but you're warm. Side, and that actually ties blue. Okay, so we can get away with a cool and a warm. Cool, warm, and then extra light. Cool grey, warm grey, extra light grey. Just because I use the extra light greys almost like a bit of a blender sometimes. I like those ones separated out because I use them to shade on quite a few different colours. You remember to put your laundry in the dryer? Well done, Chai. I need to go and get a couple of things done and my internet is buffering like crazy. All good. Have a good rest of the day, Yana. Thank you so much for being here. Discovered 2 more pens. They go everywhere. They go absolutely everywhere. A rubber band. Right. Last bundles to sort is the brown. I'm just going to start a new page for this. So I think by the look of it, I've got it sorted as like light, medium, dark, which does not make sense. I again think these have got them mixed up. Oh look, these 2 tied together within this bundle. Oh boy. It could technically be considered a dark orange. Could technically be considered a dark yellow, but instead we're going to call you like ochre or something like that. More like a green brown. You can go with that. You kind of work with that. You are a very light peach. I think I might move you to the orange peaches. Like, yeah, you're a little bit more darker, but you still work as an orange peach. And same with this one, even though the tip of it is frailed, you are more orangey peach than I would consider brown. I would consider you more orange peach. So let's get rid of you, and then we're left with just the ochres. And then this is the Staedtler fine liner that Staedtler that keeps on breaking. Does still work though. You go in there. And you still go in there. So yeah, we've got like an ochre bundle that works quite well here. Nice! Well done, Chai. Look at you getting organised too. It's very handy to get organised. Ooh. Ah! This pen, I tell ya. Right. So this is where I think it gets messy. Pretty sure these bundles are kind of atrocious. But they're the last 2 bundles, and then everything's sorted. Okay. Dropping lids. Tell you what, once this is all done though, I'm pretty confident tonight I'm going to pull out any day, because that's what I've been in the mood to work in. And because all my markers will be all bundled up. Oh, you can kind of go in. You could kind of go in ochre, though you're more golden then. Because you're more like yellow tones. But then... No. Yeah. No, you're too orangey. I'm going to keep your terracotta. Because it's like more yellow browns and this is definitely more oranges. So yeah, let's just do basically a terracotta bundle. Monitors, yeah. So you're more neutral than terracotta. It's all subjective too, because that's the thing, is as you put more colours around it, things can change and you can go, oh, you know, this is actually more. So I think what we'll do is we'll make this, so we've got an ochre bundle, so that's like our yellow browns. We've got this, which is our terracotta, which is our more orange browns. And then we'll move into the more neutral browns. And then we should have darker browns, I think. We'll see what the next bundle tells us. But yeah, I'm going to call that terracotta because I feel like that's a good little fam as well. But that one, it may look orange on the monitor, but it is quite neutral compared to the rest of these. It's quite a bit cooler as well. Oh my gosh. The little label doesn't want to go in. But again, this is how I am sorting them out, but it makes sense for my brain. How your brain sees color and chooses to sort things might be entirely different. I'm just thinking about how do I think about color when I want to go for a color, and it's like, I want to go for a yellow, green, brown here. I want an ochre, so I'm going to go for the ochre. Ah, all good, double A. Me dropping. So yeah, you're almost like a neutral brown, even though you're darker. It always throws me off because this looks like it should be a good red brown, but it's absolutely dark. Yeah, see, this one is a red brown, so I'm actually going to chuck that one in terracotta. It's a deeper dark red brown, but it's definitely more of a red brown. And so you're kind of in the ochre fam. You're getting into that green brown, but a very dark. I think I'll put that together because that's like green browns. Green browns and yellow browns. But then that goes with that. That does not go with that. It goes with that. Actually, no. Change of mind. I'm going to pull that out. Just put that together. And we'll just make a browns pile. So we've got red browns and the yellow, tan, ochres pulled out, and then we'll just have a browns pile. And it may be that as I add more colours into this, it may naturally split further, but for now I'm just going to call that browns. But yeah, I can see splitting that into warm and cool. Just don't think I have enough right now to justify splitting it, but as I merge in other sets, we may naturally end up splitting it, because keeping in mind we've got this entire thing to go. Now there's not too many browns in here compared to some sets, but there's still a few. There's a lot of grey colours in the Stadler. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. one of my notebooks does the Whitcool price on the back. I'm notorious for that as well. So easy to just buy notebooks. Alright, we do get to get rid of this. That part's rubbish, that part's recycling. I missed the recycling entirely. So yeah, these are the 2 sets now that I have to merge in. So we've got this 100 set of just cheap brush markers. But this does come with just a good range of colours. But a lot of it is like mid-tones, but it's, you know, still a good range of colours to merge in. And then I have 120 set of this, and the reason why these ones are so great is these come in a lot of extreme darks and extreme lights. Like you can see, there is a very dark blue. There's a lot of grey tones in here. So I'm really excited to see more of these grey tones and see how these work. I've still got to swatch this entire thing and merge them all in. But we are getting to 4 hours and I can feel my energy going. It's nearly time for my nap. I also haven't had breakfast or lunch. I'm not actually hungry, but I probably should eat something before I go down to bed. But I can just feel myself dropping very, very quickly. But we did get all the colours sorted, so I am pleased about that. I think what's going to happen is tonight after work, I might sit here and just create the little swatch cards. I'll show you what my plan is. Ooh. Now you can do the recycling. Oh, just about falling over. Oh, too locked up. Alright, I have this cardstock. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut these probably into 4. I don't think I'll need half. I think 4 would do. And then do like each little group as its own little swatch card that I can keep together. And then keep adding to it. I may do this on Sunday. I may do this tomorrow. I don't know. I don't think I'll stream again tonight. But for now, all I know is I need to self-care. If I'm up to it tomorrow, maybe I'll do a bonus stream tomorrow. I'll see what happens as we carry on, as I get these sorted. But yeah, it's basically going to be me. Might sort out the colours that are here, make the official groups, and then as I go to swatch a colour, I can swatch and then have like the cards nearby and go, yep, that goes more into the pink oranges or something like that. But yeah, as I put more colours in, we may separate out groups, like browns may get split into different groups and stuff like that. So yeah, it's trying to figure out if I need a half card. A half card's quite a nice size, and I could put them on a ring or something and just flip them through. I don't know. But that's something I might look at doing a bit later on. I may not do it until Sunday and just do it on Sunday's stream and just procrastinate doing it. But at the same token, we got the pencils sorted. And all that is away, like, if I just calm the chaos of putting these away in here, suddenly my desk is going to be so much more clearer, so much more freer of chaos. Like, I'll be able to breathe, I'll be able to think, and even if I don't colour tonight, like, it's already much more accessible to get back into colouring. Like, that has just calmed the chaos quite a bit now. And yeah, there's still some stuff around, but it's a lot better. Go down there. Yeah, so definitely helps out. Just to have some space. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go and take some self-care time. Make sure you do all the same. We should, all going well, we should be back on Sunday. We'll see how my organisation goes. If I'm all done on this, I'll carry on with something else. But also, if I feel like bonus streaming tonight, maybe I'll carry on with this tonight, or tomorrow. I don't know. We're just gonna go with the flow. We'll just see how I feel, because that's what it is. There is no stream next Tuesday, as a reminder, because of medical appointments. But yeah, other than that, make sure you take care of yourself and all the araha. And yeah, I will catch you all in another stream. Bye!